Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Thank you, one and all. Welcome, one and all. Yeah, you know what I mean. Thank you, one and all. Same thing. Angela, thank you so much for being first. I really do appreciate that. Okay. Well, we'll just be here for an hour. Let's get on with it. Don't ask my neighbor, come to me. Don't be afraid. I was just listening to that. Um, that was the Jones Girls, right? Don't ask my neighbor, come to me. Don't be afraid of what you see. You find I love you. Come to me. Don't be afraid. Okay, little trip down memory lane. Oh, Good versus Weasel. I had run out of titles. I said, you know what? Harry's good, and his brother's a weasel. Good versus Weasel. Oh man, that's why I'm so glad that Kensington Palace does not have my direct phone number. I probably never stop hearing from them. You know what I mean? God, I cannot stand him. Prince William, what a disappointment. Well, one thing I assumed years ago is that William would grow up one day and he would think about his mother and, well, just tear the monarchy down, just, rip it to shreds. Thing is, that is partially true, but I don't think he's going to do it for the sake of his mother. I think he's going to do it because he's such a weasel. I mean, he's this rodent like creature with them funny teeth. Um, yeah, he'll just do it for the sake of it. Not that he has any ill intentions. He just can't help it. He's Willie. He's a f up. Pardon my language, but he just can't help it. He's so inappropriate, unfit for purpose, or not fit for purpose. Okay. Oh, let me see. I'm taking a look at a couple of your comments here. Oh, by the way, I have one word for you: Selfridges. Okay, two words: Selfridges department store. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Harry G. Selfridge department store of Oxford Street. If you know, you know. Um, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say Selfridges. If Selfridges means anything to you, mission accomplished. How about that for a what do you call it? A cryptic statement. There you go. Selfridges. Harry G. Selfridge, one of my favorite figures from history. Harry Gordon Selfridge. Yeah, G was for Gordon. Harry Gordon Selfridge. But like I say, if you know, you know. Okay. Well, let's get it going here. So, Prince Harry's office rebukes Tina Brown over false claims about Prince Archie. Well, I wanted to explore this with one of my favorite people, Feminegra. I do believe Feminegra is a one. Well, I'm going to just say a one woman show, but maybe there are other people that work there, but whatever. Um, the person who writes the Feminagra uses a pen name, which I think is very wise because Feminagra is all about truth. And because of that truth, some people may try to dox you or something like that. So I say that remaining anonymous is the best course. Uh, Prince Harry's team responded this week with a rare public denial, rejecting claim by Tina Brown about a private conversation involving Archie. Brown alleged that Harry referred to Archie as my little African child. Gosh, I hate that. During a discussion with the late Jane Goodall, the spokesperson responds, did more than deny the quote. It accused Brown of inventing words and attaching them to a respected woman who can no longer respond. The intervention um, matters because it exposes how certain royal narratives are built, protected, and repeated without evidence. Why this is so important is because right now, there is a new hire at the Daily Mail. And as I mentioned a while ago, I have been watching this person because they are a trainee reporter or trainee writer or whatever. A writer trainee is some kind of title they give them. And this person is going into the archives and I guess rewriting, reintroducing, rehashing old stories. And as um, things go, those articles usually are something that is derogatory or disparaging to the Sussexes. It's almost as though they are being tested to see if they have enough grit to write the very hateful, cruel, mean spirited articles that the Daily Mail is so famous for. Um, they very much want to remind people of the past and the more embarrassing or hurtful or um, whatever it is that can be harmful to the Sussexes, they'll definitely write about it. And it also has a dual purpose because it uplifts the Welleses. And I believe one of the more recent ones, oh my goodness, it had to do with, oh, I can't recall offhand. Actually, it didn't involve Meghan. It was something to do with the way Beatrice or Eugenie seemed to put Kate in her place at Kate's first visit to Sandringham or something like that. Um, it's stuff that's been spoken about, written about again and again and again. But it's as though they put these writers through training to make sure that they are willing to say the most hurtful, disgusting things, or just at the very least write about it. But if they play their cards right, they will be on some of those weekend shows. The oh, like the one with Matt Wilkinson for the Sun, or the one with Rebecca English for the Daily Mail. Their various podcasts that they have. If they play their cards right, one day they'll do that. It's like they keep bringing in fresh writers, a new pair of eyes to take a look at the old stories and to tell them again, and always a little different from the first time. And so with Tina Brown, she's not just trying to make a name for herself. What she's doing is she's trying to build an audience for her Substack. Obviously, that Substack keeps her relevant, and should she write a book again or something like that, she'll have her Substack to help promote it. Um, she's not going to go away quietly. I don't know how old she is, but she's not going to go away quietly. She wants to remain a player when it comes to all of this monarchy and all to do with the Windsors. She wants to stay relevant. And the best way to get a pair of eyes on your work is to discuss, uh, if you can discuss the Sussexes, then you're in. It's just that simple. It's a built-in uh, way to do this, and that is to reference Harry and Meghan. No matter how loosely the connection, if you can just put their names in it, then you got a decent turnout. Tom Sykes was annoying enough when he was just simply writing for what, the Daily Beast, and now that he has his podcast, he's unbearable. I mean, I tried to watch a few of the podcasts. Well, not just the Substack, but he's also on YouTube. I tried to watch a few of those, but I couldn't get past the hatefulness of it. There were times when he could be a little more balanced in the past on the Daily Beast, but now he doesn't even pretend. He's just that one particular show he had where he was like trying to make fun of Meghan, and he's like, "Oh, I just can't," and it was such a phony laugh, and he's leaning back in the chair and cupping his hand over that big giant tooth. Um, I'm like, Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes, is it really that funny? Are you really trying to use this African American woman to build up your base? And the answer, of course, is yes. But that's okay. Leave it to the ancestors. Leave it to the ancestors. The ancestors would deal with Bruh Rabbit. Bruh Rabbit will get his. The ancestors will take care of it. Maybe one day he'll wake up and that big giant tooth in the center of his mouth will will be even longer and more intrusive. I mean, right now it's just barely visible, but maybe one day he'll wake up and it'll be sitting out there like a big saber or something. Okay, so to continue with this article, it says here, this is the thing from the spokesperson. A spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex denied the claim, saying in a statement to People, the Duke of Sussex has never said anything remotely resembling what is being claimed. Tina Brown knows exactly what she's doing by inventing these words and attributing them to a highly respected woman who is deceased and unable to correct the record. And that is so true. That is so true. And it's not the first time that Tina Brown has done this. There's actually that quote from Princess Diana, or the conversation with Princess Diana. And Jeannie Bond also referenced a conversation with Princess Diana. Jeannie Bond decided that for the first time, she would quote Diana from a conversation that they had about Camilla. And the only time she decided to reference that conversation was in the lead up to the coronation. You know, during that period of time when Charles was so terrified that people that were still loyal to Diana's memory would somehow disrupt his coronation. And so about I want to say maybe starting a month before the coronation. Do you guys recall the way that they had all of these royal reporters, these talking heads? They had them on the various talk shows and chat shows and such, um, speaking of the love and affection that Charles and Camilla had for each other. They were speaking of them more like it was the wedding that Camilla never had, as opposed to it just being a coronation. Theirs is a love affair of the ages, and they were always meant to be get together. And they just went on and on about it. And then when it got weird was Jeannie Bond saying that Diana had some type of respect for Camilla, and she respected Camilla for going for what she wants. And this is just another case of that. This is very much the same thing, except this time Tina Brown is not selling the public a coronation that Princess Diana should have been alive to attend. Princess Diana should have been queen. So in order to make that palatable to the public, they had to remind us that Charles and Camilla was meant to be together. And so in this instance, we're being told that someone as respected as Jane Goodall took Tina Brown into her confidence and shared her shock at what Prince Harry said. If you did not mention it at the time, don't mention it at all. But it doesn't work like that, because Tina Brown's goal is to make her new Substack successful. And who knows, she's probably got a book that she's working on. Probably. Oh my goodness. What am I looking at here? Oh, is it Alib gifted 10 Royal Sussex memberships? Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being a member. And it looks like several people have taken advantage of that. I'm looking at all of these new members. Wow. Now, that's the first time I've ever seen that. That is the first time I've ever seen that. Well, again, thank you so much for that. That was incredible, I should say. And also, let me make sure you get your flowers. Okay. Where is it? Okay. No, not that. This one. All right. Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. Oh, now how does this work? Oh, look at that. They got some Christmas stuff up here. Wow, very cool. Although, I'm trying to figure out, why is that missing? Why is that not in the background? That is supposed to be there. Okay, thank you very much again. Okay, so to continue here, the claim and the documented denial Tina Brown made the allegations during an appearance on Katie Couric's podcast in December of this year. She framed the remark as something Jane Goodall had relayed to her after a lunch with Prince Harry years earlier. Goodall died in October of 2025, having no way to confirm or dispute the story. And still, I say to myself, why would Tina Brown suddenly mention this unless there was a very good reason for it? Something that, of course, would benefit, guess who? Tina Brown. Media outlets sought clarification and published a statement from Prince Harry's spokesperson. The response was unequivocal. The spokesperson said the Duke of Sussex never said anything remotely resembling the claim and stated that Brown knowingly invented the quote. The statement also criticized the decision to attribute fabricated words to a deceased figure who could not correct the record. That wording matters. Public figures often issue soft denials. This one did not. It accused a veteran editor and royal commentator of deliberate invention and highlighted the ethical breach involved. The denial stands as the only on record account supported by a living, accountable source. In other words, best kept to yourself. But again, I don't believe it. Also, Harry says there's no validity to it whatsoever. The pattern of attributing claims to the dead. This episode follows a familiar pattern in royal media. Commentators increasingly attribute unverifiable statements to figures who are no longer alive. Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Philip, Princess Diana, and now Jane Goodall have all been used as narrative anchors for claims that cannot be challenged. And you know, I have heard more from Queen Elizabeth since she's been dead than I've heard from Queen Elizabeth when she was alive. I didn't know the Queen talked that much. Every time I turn around, I hear something that the Queen said. I wake up in the morning, there's a quote from Queen Elizabeth. And a few days there, I was convinced that she was still alive. I'm just like, did she just say that? Because they say it like it's real time, like they just literally was talking to the Queen yesterday. "1992, a year which I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a annus horribilis. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And it burned down Windsor Castle, taking with it the great hall, the drawing room, the chapel." 1992, it was a real mother. Not my mother, a mother. Queen out. So, I mean, quite often you hear from Queen Elizabeth right here on Royal Sussex. Of course, she's always talking about, 1992, but recollections may vary. Yeah, recollections may vary. A selection of headlines show how media outlets repeatedly attribute unverified public or private, that is, opinions to Queen Elizabeth II to frame narratives about Meghan and Harry. The method offers protection. A deceased source lends authority while removing the risk of contradiction. In this case, the timing drew immediate scrutiny. Brown claimed knowledge of the alleged remarks for years, yet she waited until after Goodall's death to make it public. Supporters and critics alike noted that Goodall had Goodall been alive when the conversation supposedly occurred and could have confirmed it or denied it then. But of course, she didn't get that opportunity because it didn't come up until it was convenient for Tina Brown. So, headlines claim Prince Philip private views on Harry and Meghan, relying on unnamed sources and royal biographies. Prince Harry has spoken openly about this media dynamic before. He has warned that powerful outlets often operate without meaningful accountability while continuing, that is, to frame themselves as arbiters of truth. The statement reflects that critique in practice rather than theory. Tina Brown's record on Harry and Meghan. Well, Brown's hostility toward the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is well documented. In books, interviews, and podcasts, she has repeatedly framed Meghan as incompetent, manipulative, and uniquely responsible for the couple's departure from the UK. She has described Prince Harry as naive, fragile, and easily led, despite his own detailed account in his memoir, Spare. And don't forget, Tina Brown practically quoted Harry from one of Harry's interviews and or from the memoir Spare. She practically quoted him by saying that she heard or she was sure that the family, or something about the family assuming that he would go and live off grid. If that's not the most preposterous thing I've ever heard, it was ridiculous. And it was her inserting some type of contemporary fantasy of people living off grid with Harry's desire to work in Africa as a park ranger or whatever. It was part fantasy, and it was also a part of that was based on some things that Harry has said, even though Harry said at the time that it would not be possible and that he would be in service to the crown, and even further, he would be in service to the Queen, period. So that was just something that she cobbled together based on some things that was said. I mean, as someone who has been following the Sussexes on a daily basis for the past, I would say, 7 years that I've been following them, I know when I hear their words. I know when I can hear their voice coming out of other people. And I also know when they manipulate, when they alter the things that the Sussexes have said. Her comments stretch back for years. In interviews with the Washington Post, the New York Times, and the Daily Mail, and more recently on a podcast and her Substack, Brown has dismissed Meghan's work as worthless and portrayed Harry as a figure who must be reclaimed by the monarchy. That framing persists even as the couple remain financially secure, professionally active and committed to raising their children away from tabloid exposure. Critics argue that the narrative relies on racialized and sexist assumptions. The idea that Harry, as a childlike figure controlled by his black wife, ignores his own agency and contradicts primary evidence from his life and writing when Brown now introduced a claim involving Archie, a young child, the context of her past reporting becomes impossible to ignore. Didn't I tell y'all Feminagra was good? Didn't I tell y'all Feminagra is good? You see how they did that? Oh, I love Feminagra. Okay, so let's get to the final thought, shall we? Let's get to the final thought. Prince Harry's team statement shows a change in approach. Instead of allowing a false claim to move unchecked through the press, Prince Harry's team addressed it openly and on the record. The response relied on verifiable facts and identified the central problem. Words were invented and assigned to a deceased person who could not dispute them. Tina Brown's conduct fits a wider pattern. British royal coverage has produced repeated instances where inaccurate claims about the Sussexes were published without proper scrutiny. In December, GB News was forced to issue an on-air correction after Carol Malone falsely stated that Doria Ragland had been in prison. The claim targeted a private citizen and aired live. The network returned to the program days later to correct the record, a rare step in British broadcasting. These episodes reflect a deeper shift in royal reporting. Commentary now often replaces reporting. Some writers position themselves as opponents rather than observers, despite having no direct knowledge of the people they cover. Meghan, Sussex, and Prince Harry were written about as subjects to be challenged, not figures to be reported on accurately. This matters because press narratives shape public judgment. When accuracy gives way to hostility, falsehoods gain traction. The consequences follow. Claims about adults reach their children. If royal media expect credibility, it must stop publishing stories that rely on invention and the silence of those who are no longer alive. Okay? Okay? Come on, Feminagra. Did y'all get all that? Did y'all get all that? Hey, Beverly McCaskill. Hazel Jones, Ingrid Soares, Terry H., Nola Thondo, Nian Denny. Seemingly, the UK media has supernatural powers. Skills enable them to talk to the dead people, especially when they want to spread lies about the Sussex family. Yeah, not only are they royal reporters, journalists, authors, they are also mediums. They are capable of conjuring up the dead and having the ability to use themselves as a conduit in which the deceased person can criticize just about anybody that they choose. Well, that the reporter chooses, not the dead person. If I was them, I would be asking for more money because that's talent. That's talent. If you can commune with the dead to criticize the living, or even worse, criticize people that you don't know and have never met, then you probably should be asking for more money. But instead, they make 200 or 300 pounds every time they appear on one of these podcasts or um, Good Morning Britain, and all those other shows. But I tell people this all the time. I stopped watching um, The View, among other things. I stopped watching The View. I don't watch Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher because Bill Maher has gone to the dark side. Clearly, he's gone to the dark side. And as for The View, whatever show you watch, whatever, if there's a panel of people, the conversation that they're having is not meant to resolve anything. It is not meant to inform. What the purpose is primarily, the purpose is to psychologically convince you that you're wrong and that you need to get on board with whatever they're trying to teach you, or they're indoctrinating you in a way that is seemingly just a conversation. Seemingly you are deciding for yourself. But the truth is, there is careful research done. They know what words will trigger a certain response. They know the demographic to target. And unfortunately, all of us with these Black Mirror devices, which is another name for our cell phones, our mobile phones, they're in our heads constantly. And not myself, nor anybody else listening to me is so invincible, so intelligent, so above it all that we cannot be persuaded to see things differently. It's very subtle. And it may not be everything, but it's enough things that it can sway a national election, a local election. It could make us decide to buy Coke or Pepsi. But I will not pretend like it has zero impact on me, because I'm sure it does. Now, I believe most people have certain core beliefs that are never going to change. But they don't need you to change everything. They just need you to bend here or bend there to their will. And next thing you know, you have some maniac in the White House. Everything is not about get out and vote. They also want to discourage you from voting in the first place. They need some people to show up, and they need some people to stay home. So whether they make you excited and you run out the house and you can't wait to cast your ballot, or you're so disgusted with the entire system that you just stay home. We are all subject to this. And I'll tell you someone who has persuaded me time and time again, Oprah Winfrey, which is why I have a Nikon D3200 camera that I bought back in 2013. Or what was it, 2012, 2013? Because I saw it on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I started flying American Airlines because I saw it on the Oprah Winfrey Show. So I'm telling you, I can be persuaded too. Guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show fly American Airlines. American Airlines. You know what I'm saying? I used to say that in my sleep. Guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show fly American Airlines. While staying in Chicago, guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show stay at the Omni All Suites Hotel, just footsteps from Michigan Avenue. See what I mean? It's in my head. And if it's in my head, I'm more likely to do it. So I'm just warning you, be careful. Be careful. We're not as strong as we think we are. And everyone is subject to persuasion. And as older people, I constantly remind everyone I know about bank fraud and telemarketers and all that kind of stuff. We've had those discussions quite a lot on Royal Sussex. We have to be especially careful as older people, because when you get older, you get more emotional. And when you're more emotional, you're more vulnerable, especially where your family is concerned. Oh. Anyway, that's that for Tina Brown, a disgusting individual if there ever was. Carolyn Graham, Carol Malone, Tina Brown. Who's next? Right? I mean, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. You never know who's going to be the pain in the neck of the day. Let's see. As a Bible says, even the very elect will be deceived. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's always someone trying to pull the okey doke on us. Let me see. Has Tina found Harry a place to live and one of them left over? She probably has it all figured out, right? She just want to get Harry back over there. That's the main thing. They'll sort that out later. Let me see. But they can name yeah, right. When they are telling us lies, they use the name source. They said this no name, but they can name a dead person. Thank you for your comment. All right. All right. Let's see. I have a question. Dr. Goodall had a secretary that would have had to make appointments for her. They should contact that person and get the book to see if that person is in it. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, just the okay, and let's not forget that Tina Brown revisited the original comment and said that it wasn't completely as she mentioned it before, but that she stands behind the whatever of it. So there was a you know, another comment from Tina Brown where she decided to try to clean it up a bit, but the damage is done, right? The damage is done. And fortunately, there was a very loud pushback from Team Sussex, loud enough that I believe more people found out about this because it was disputed directly from the Sussexes or from their spokesperson on behalf of the Sussexes. So either way, this one, much like the dictator in heels, I tell you, uh, I hope that the Sussexes will do this more often because you know, they can't do it every time. No one should respond to everything. But when it's something as damaging to your reputation, then you have to say something. Now, when they were part of that institution, they were prohibited from saying anything. And then Charles would say that we can't say anything, and oh, we don't respond to that, and it only makes matters worse. Which is why it's so disingenuous when these reporters question their need to leave. They should have just stayed. It would have worked out eventually. I would not want Meghan walking around looking as pathetic as Sophie Wessex or the Duchess of Edinburgh. I would not ever want to see Meghan walking around looking that pathetic, following in Kate Middleton's footsteps. Someone who, as far as I'm concerned, is completely lacking in comparison to just about anybody in the royal family. Um, if there was ever anyone less suited for a role, it would be Kate Middleton as the future queen consort. She is just hollow as a person. As Hillary, was it Hillary oh gosh, what was her name? Hillary, whatever her name is, that writer, the one that said that Kate was like a jointed doll that you hang rags on. Um, that was so true. That she's, whatever personality she had has been removed. They removed that from her years ago. And what's left is someone who smiles excessively, who laughs unnecessarily, and they go from being this 100-watt light bulb, smiling and grinning and beaming, to this very meek, sullen, um, seemingly depressed, and mostly angry person. And she can't even hide it. She's unable to hide that side of herself, or maybe she just doesn't even try. I pray for those kids, though. I really do pray for those kids. Before he took his son. No, I didn't. I did not see that, Abby Rosemary. Yes, Sandra. Yes, that too. It is an attack on the children. It is an attack on the children. It reminds me of the whole comparing Archie to a chimpanzee. That's what it reminds me of. It objectifies the Sussex children. And whatever she had to say, she should have just left the kids out of it. She should have just left the kids out of it. I do not like the Sussex children being the focus of anything. Or should I say, at least those vile comments from the tabloid reporters. And that type of comment, it really feeds into those people on social media, the derangers. You know, say they're cute, say they happy, say whatever, but quoting someone's shock at something their father said, that's tacky. That is absolutely tacky. Tina Brown is unable to control her hostility that she has for the Sussexes. She really cannot hold it. When she was speaking to Katie Couric, and I played that for you guys, I played it for you, and and you could just hear the disdain in her voice. And I cannot decide. I cannot decide. Is Tina Brown, is she angry with the Sussexes because she just don't like them, or is she upset because the best thing for the monarchy was bullied out of the institution? They bullied them out of the country. They bullied them out of the country, plain and simple. I don't know where in the world it would be healthy to be in a nation, to work and sacrifice for a nation, for a monarchy, and every day there's a new headline accusing you of the worst. Every day. Now, Harry went through it when he was called the party prince. It was perfect because whatever William did, William could always look as though he's above the fray. But what logical, right minded, sane person would bring a family into that line of attack day after day? Okay, let's move on. So, liked by a surprise player jumped into action for his first ever appearance on the Aspen field at the 2025 St. Regis World Snow Polo Championship. As I said, I do not believe that Harry was actually supposed to play, but yet there he was. And I believe that to be true because if his name was on the roster before this event started, then there would have been um, a mention of it. You know, it would have been announced. It would have been announced. But because he was a last minute addition to this, um, they had to rush and get photographers there. So the second day, I believe they were quite ready for him. Even without that, they still were able to purchase or borrow images from other sources. But I do not believe that there were any paps there until it was established that Harry was there. And the paparazzi doesn't have to be flown in. It can be someone very local that is a freelance reporter, photographer, or whatever. It doesn't have to be someone that comes in from LA or New York or something like that. It just needs to be someone that the media has depended upon before, or someone that they will, just buy the material from. Anyway, these photos of Harry are absolutely stunning. And I do have some more new photos. So we're going to go through those. I think you may have seen the one on the left and right already. But this one, yes, no, maybe. For certain, that one on the right. And I believe that Nacho and this Melissa person added these today. Yeah, I believe these were added today. But Harry looks like he's right out of a Ralph Lauren ad. There is Harry looking masculine and manly and athletic, vigorously riding up and down the field with his horse and having such control. I mean, it's like Harry is at one with that horse. I mean, the way that the horse, I mean, it's just like, I don't know when was the last time Harry rode a horse. And I don't know if you could like lose your touch or forget, things, but the way the horse was able to respond to him, it just seems like he lives on a ranch, like it's his own horse. And this is my new favorite. As you can see, he's sticking his tongue out at the camera. That's right. He looks like a snack. He looks like an absolute snack. A Scooby snack if I've ever seen one. Now compare that. I mean, I hate to do it, but just compare. Where have I heard that before? I hate to do it, but compare. Just where have I heard that before, you guys? Where have I heard that before? I hate to do it, but compare. So you know what? I'm gonna have to find that, won't I? I have to find it. I have to find it since I brought it up. All right, where is it? Where is it? Okay, hold on a second. I hate to do it, but compare.
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Yes, I hate to compare. I hate to compare, but I'm gonna. But I'm gonna. Athletic, virile, manly, masculine, hairy, and then there's that old Twinkle Toes Wells, Twinkle Toes Wellsy, floating and gliding about, his feet barely touching the ground, his very elegant movements and posing like the Heisman Trophy and jumping like he's in Swan Lake. And I mean, it's a very delicate touch, don't you know? Which is nice. I mean, there is certain athleticism in ballet. You know, he's a graceful man, that's for sure. He's very light on his toes. I'm sure that has its merits. The way he glides, and I mean, it's almost as though he has wings, isn't it? Like he's just about to fly up out of here. I feel like we need to put some weights on his ankle before he just flutters away. Yeah. I mean, he's up, he's down, he's spread eagle, he's Baryshnikov, he's Freddie Mercury, he's all of those things. He's a lady. Whoa, 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 he's a lady. Talking about this lady. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, he's a very graceful man, and I'm sure that all of us appreciate how elegantly he moves. It's one of those things that will definitely set him apart from most guys. It's one of those things that constantly reminds me of that trip to Poland when he was in search of a pulled pork sandwich. Any man who can glide like that playing volleyball and who could literally fly to another country in search of a pulled pork sandwich is someone that we should keep an eye. It's someone we should keep an eye on. Yeah. Please don't let this feeling in. Reaching out to touch you. I can feel so much. Now I have you looking into. Anyway, oh, Willie. Willie, Willie, Willie. What are we going to do with you? What are we going to do with you, Willie? Huh? Silly Billy. What are we going to do with you? Don't cry out loud. Just keep it inside and learn how to hide your feelings. Fly high and proud. And if you should fall, remember you almost had it all. That's right, Willie. Fly high and proud. And then I could just imagine once he hits the ground in despair and utter embarrassment, because Harry has a heart of gold, he will still be there for his brother, encouraging him to take off and fly again. Be loud and proud. Be who you are. Okay. Now, it's happened again, you guys. It has happened again. You know, they used to call Joan Crawford box office poison because every movie that she made at a certain point was a disaster. Now, take a look on the left. Kate, beloved fashion brand LK Bennett, is racing to find a savior amid fears firm will collapse. Again, Kate? Again? How many companies are you going to put out of business? Well, as of December the 20th, 2025, a fashion brand beloved by Princess of Wales is rushing to find a savior as fear raised that the company could collapse for the second time in 6 years. Whatever she puts on, it seems as though the company doesn't find new fans. They have to get into bankruptcy court. I mean, they literally fold overnight. She wears it, and they're in trouble. They go from being profitable into the red. And this is Christmas time. You would think at this time of year that things would be looking up. Nope. Not if Kate wears it. So if you look on the right, there's another one I found from a while ago. Princess of Wales' favorite fashion brand to shut its doors after 15 years. I mean, it just keeps happening. She's a disaster. Fashion brand, what is it? Eponine? Whatever. Beloved by Princess of Wales announces closure. Here's another one. That was October. Every month, another fashion house's shutters because of Kate Middleton. A fashion label beloved by the Princess of Wales for nearly a decade is closing. In the years since Kate has worn and reworn several glamorous pieces from the bespoke label for public outings and royal appearances. Well, what happened is once people figured out that Kate was wearing it, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse. And what about this one here? That jacket. I don't know why she thinks that jacket is cute. The one with the little bite in the back. See how is the back of the jacket allows you to see. Well, it just allows you to see. That's all. But I guess that was supposed to be something. I don't know. That I guess it's one of those jackets you bought it in London one time when you were on vacation and you thought you could make it work, but well, I mean, she's not a tourist, so what's her excuse for buying something as weird as that? Yeah. Well, anyway, if the idea was to show off the merchandise, it ain't really much to look at, is it? No, I guess not. Let's see. Do I see a birthday here? Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it? Oh, Janice Goodrich. Hey, Janice Goodrich, happy birthday. And many happy returns of the day. I think we have to have a little salsa for you. Anyway, let's do that. We'll have a little salsa for Janet Goodrich for her birthday. Don't cry out loud. All right. And let me find that one. Let's do this. All right. Happy birthday, Janice Goodrich. Now, on to Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit. Yesterday, I made reference to a physical abnormality of Tom Sykes, and I probably shouldn't have done that. And I would like to give a very I'm just kidding. I don't care. Look at that mouth. He has so much trouble trying to pull that top liver, that top lip over that massive tooth in the middle of his head. Every time I look at him, all I can think of is Brer Rabbit. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yes. So Zandy Sussex says, this is how desperate William Macbeth is. He has his paid bots trolling the internet, begging the media to look at him to look at him too, but the media are too busy focused on the Sussexes. Well, the alleged bots that Sandy is speaking of is right there. You see it? That what is it? INFJ73. Prince William and Prince George just put out a wonderful video of helping out at the homeless shelter. They are truly showing the holiday spirit. Same person or same bot left another message. So there it is on ABC, and somehow it's jumped over to Harper's Bazaar. So someone, like a bot, is posting that on every platform it can find. And there on the right, at the bottom, there's another one. Different response, but same meaning and same person or bot. Very underhanded, I think. And of course, there's Photogate. People are still obsessed about whether or not Kate Middleton was actually in this photo. I am starting to believe that this was also AI generated, or that at least she was photoshopped into the photo. One of the reasons I feel that way is, of course, the hand, that very weird placement of the hand. It looks like her arm is twice as long as her other arm, that she's able to, you know, it just doesn't seem right. Also, her position seems a bit bizarre. Okay? And I don't know. I can't really put it into words, except for that hand just does not seem right. It seems oddly placed, and her position in the photo seems rather strange. Same clothes. I'm assuming it was the same day. Who knows how long ago those photos were taken? But Josh Schinner, he's the photographer. So if you were thinking, and this is why I'm so suspicious about this, this is what makes it so suspect. If Kate was there and she was the one holding the camera, then that would explain why she's not in this photo. It would probably explain why she could not have been in this photo. However, they have attributed this photo to that Josh person. But if she's in this photo and Josh was the one that took these photos, then how come she couldn't have been in that photo? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. She should have been in one of the photos. And okay, so if you say, well, this was probably for Father's Day, it doesn't matter. If they've taken multiple photos at the same occasion or day or event or whatever it was, then you should have some photos with Kate and some photos without Kate. And from what it appears, the only photo with Kate looks like it's been photoshopped. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If she was truly there, why not just find a photo that does not look like it's been photoshopped? I don't believe she was there. You know, I was questioning that myself, that the lighting was a bit off. Now, they can play with the tones in the photos. I mean, the software is available to do just that. But, yeah, it's a tough call. It is a very tough call. But I'm also looking at the size of her face. If she is behind William, why does her face seem just as big, if not bigger, than his face? She should be a little further back. You see what I mean? Like, look at the scale of Charlotte's face in comparison to Louis. Look at the scale of Louis's face in comparison to George. George seems as though he's closer to the camera. Louis seems like he's next in terms of sequence, close to the camera. And then there's Charlotte. That looks all very natural. But for Kate, dimension-wise, she seems as though she's standing right next to him. I don't think that this is right. I just don't believe that this is right. It seems kind of strange. And then also, while you're photoshopping, why does William have butter teeth? If you can add Kate, then you can scrape that butter off his teeth. Get that butter off his teeth. This man's got Land O'Lake on his teeth. Now, you guys know I have my issues with the Cambridges, right? Or the Wellses. Let me just say this. I think this is a beautiful photo. This is probably one of the best photos that that family has ever produced. I think it's a beautiful photo. I love how playful it is. I love everything about it. I have no shade to add to it at all. That is a beautiful photo. It seems natural. It seems very natural. So that's it. No shade. The kids seem very playful. They love their father. He's laughing and enjoying the attention, spending time with his kids. It's got everything. It's got everything. So nice photo. And then there's this. Yes, they went to a food pantry, shelter, whatever. Um, if your partner looks at you the way that William looks at just about anybody, does that term, what is that term they have? Uh, oh gosh, what is it? Not sink or swim. Gosh, how do they say that? It escapes me right now. Where you run or you stay. How do they say that? It's not feast or famine. It's help me out. I haven't said it in forever, but you know what I mean. It's that phrase where you either stand and fight your corner or you run like hell. Fight or flight. Thank you very much, Sandra. That's what I feel when I look at that image. It brings me to that fight or flight. Fight or flight. That's when your partner looks at you like that. Do you stay and fight your corner or do you run like hell? Fight or flight? I say run. Unless the kids are, you know what I'm saying? If your kids are with them, then you better stay. But if run for us. Oh, look at there. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me one dad yes, one dad lying, two brothers crying, one or three something. Merry Christmas. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. The Markle family, Thomas Sr., Carolyn, and Jr. By the way, thank you to the squaddie who came up with this. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But yes, when I saw it, I'm like, yes, I have to share that as soon as possible. Best day ever. Speaking of separation, the Photoshop picture or pic of the Wells family shows that Kate Middleton was edited into it. This highlights what the British media has been trying to conceal for a long time now. Prince William and Kate do not live together, allegedly. Behind scenes, there is no Wells family. Another Photoshop fail. The elongated hand is a Photoshop fail. And let me see, and I've generated a corrected version for comparison. You can view it. Oh, anyway, uh, I want to take a look on the right side. Now, that person, what is her name? Anyway, that person, the one with that big gummy smile, the one that's always flashing her gums like Mr. Ed. The obligatory Christmas card from Harry and Meghan. Despite the warm California light, this image feels quite cold. I don't get family warmth, but separation. And let me see. And reiterates that Lily is obviously Meghan's favorite. You could easily crop Harry and Archie out of this picture. It's odd. From what I've been told, this person with the big giant gums, she's got the little baby teeth. She never lost her baby teeth, which of course is a sign of superior breeding, I'm sure, that she still has her baby teeth. This person, she's very good at finding just the right skepticism to, I guess, inflame some type of negative feelings toward the Sussexes. Now, she's very subtle at how she does it. As a matter of fact, I'm actually impressed with how subtle she can be. The way she does it, this is why I say you have to be very careful. The way she does this thing that she does is that it almost seems like legitimate reporting. And she always comes across as just a little naive or a bit confused, but she's really not. What she's doing is she's trying to reinforce negative feelings toward Meghan in particular. Not so much Harry, but always Meghan. That's why you tiny tooth. You have to be very careful with these people. They are very adept at getting their point across in a way that is demeaning to whoever the subject is directed toward. So, yeah, it's very subtle, but it's a dig no less. Anyway, you know what I should do is I should start a GoFundMe and finance helping to pull that top lip down. I think she would be okay. I think we can improve if we can just find a surgeon who can pull that top lip down so that it at least covers the gums. You know what I mean? Or raise the teeth, either lower the lip or raise the teeth or something. But we can fix it. They have the technology to fix it. They could reset it in some type of way that it's not so frightening to children. Because this right here is the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, that is the stuff of nightmares. And you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to be on the business end of that, right? Not me. Oh, well. Yeah, it's very frightening. Oh, look at there. Little Lily Biff Diana's dress sold out. And check out those beautiful shoes. What is that? La Coeta? La Coqueta? La Coquetta, leather girls contrast ballerina shoe in silver and black. That is very much inspired by Coco Chanel. Beautiful shoe. Anyway, that's our Lily. And lastly, tonight, this is the last thing we'll finish with Claire Waite Keller. SmartWorks and Uniqlo announced partnership with Claire Waite Keller as ambassador. We are thrilled to announce a new national partnership with global retailer Uniqlo. I hope I'm saying it right. Alongside the appointment of internationally acclaimed British designer Claire Waite Keller, global creative director at there we go. At Uniqlo. Uniqlo. Okay, I think it's Uniqlo. As SmartWorks ambassador, named one of Time's 100 most influential people in 2019, Claire Waite Keller is renowned for her original take on modern elegance and for leading major fashion houses to critical acclaim. As ambassador, she will champion the SmartWorks mission, using her voice and influence to mobilize support for our ambition to help over 10,000 women a year. This partnership strengthens SmartWorks' mission to help women succeed at interviews, secure employment, and build the confidence and independence that comes with it. So cheers to Claire Waite Keller, and congratulations, that is, on your new position. Okay, well, thank you all so much. It has been a pleasure as usual. I will see you all tomorrow or later today, whichever comes first. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And as usual, it's been a pleasure. So love you guys, and I will see you all next time.